The Weedsman Podcast. ChristopherMedia.net.
Do you have questions about Medicare? For personalized guidance from a local Medicare expert counselor, call the SHIP hotline. SHIP is the state health insurance assistance program that provides unbiased help to beneficiaries, their families, and caregivers. Free. Call SHIP today at 1-800-792-8820, 800-792-8820, or visit aging.nj.gov. This ad made possible by the New Jersey Division of Aging Services with funds from the U.S. Administration for Community Living.
Christopher Media. Let's make some noise. From Asthmacore Studios near Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, man.
It's the Weedsman Podcast.
I have no idea what's going on.
And now,
you have smoked yourself retarded.
here are the Weedsmen.
You want to get high?
It's summer. I'm Chris.
I'm Aaron. Yes, I want to get fucking high.
Yeah?
Jesus Christ. This summer's gonna fucking kill me.
Right.
Too much going on.
Already?
Already.
The summer is 1 week old today.
That's right, we had the summer solstice.
Yes. Days are now getting shorter.
Yep. No, I'm done with my move. That was hell. I thought a washer and dryer would be an easy thing to unload. I had resisted buying one for a rental property. I was like, I can get by without it. But then COVID hit, and I was like, I don't want to go to the fucking laundromat, even if it is down the fucking street.
Well, for a while, shit wasn't open.
Yeah, and also that. So I was like, all right, I'll buy a washer and dryer, and then when I move, I'm sure I can sell it. I couldn't even sell it back to the place I bought it from.
What?
Yeah, it was a place that sells used appliances. And I'm like, well, how do you get your appliances? And if you don't buy them from people, they're all used.
They go cruising around in a van.
Is this warehouse like entirely stuff you've just found?
Just stealing everything? Is all this stuff stolen?
No, it's an illegal chop shop. Is this the illegal chop shop? And then, so I tried to put it up on Facebook Marketplace, and I got nothing but scammed. All fucking day long. Every single person who would call me or would hit me up, be like, oh, what's the condition? Does it work? And I'm like, yeah, it's all in the description. Okay, I'm come pick it up today. What's your Venmo? And I was like, no.
Yeah, right.
Like I had somebody, what they try and do? They get your information and they try and crack your account.
Really?
Yeah, because I had a guy ask, he's like, I need your Venmo and your email. I was like, no, you don't need my email. And then
you bring me cash.
Yeah, but it's always some story like, oh, well, I'm out of town right now and my wife's going to come pick it up and all this stuff, but I'll send you the money now so that I can secure it. But they're not going to I had one guy say that he was going to send me money, and then he was like, did you get it? Did you get it? Did you get the money? And then he was like calling me, and so I just blocked him. Like, if I get his money, I'll unblock him, but until then, like, fuck you. You're a fucking scammer.
Right.
I had somebody... they said, oh, we're going to send the money. And then I got how did it go? It was I got a text alert from like some Google service with a verification code. Like I had asked for a password reset or something. And then the person messaged me and they're like, oh, I need that verification code just to verify that you're a real account.
No, you do not.
Like, fuck off.
Do you think I'm an idiot?
I'm sure a lot of people fall for this shit, man.
I mean, they're getting crafty with the phishing emails.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't click on they make them look real now and stuff. Like, you got to click on the sender. Trust me, there's been a few times where I've almost fell for it, and I'm like, wait, and you just got to click on. Oh, wait, it's from a bunch of consonants and a bunch of numbers in a row at some domain I've never heard of.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not Amazon. You're not PayPal.
Yeah, most of the digital world is just mostly fake, right? I think Elon was right about Twitter. Actually, he's probably underselling it. I'm sure there's way more than like 10 or 20% bots on Twitter.
So did you sell your washer and dryer? Did a real person ever buy your washer and dryer?
No, I never got a real offer. I got plenty of things that looked like real offers, and they all ended up being scams.
By the end, were you just like you show up in public with cash, and I'll give this to you?
I couldn't do anything. I needed to sell. I left them there.
See, now, I know, I got a few friends, like, whenever they need to sell something, they love the Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah. I've been successful at buying stuff off of it. Yeah. I worked for me. I mean, maybe it's something specific about washer and dryer. They're like old people.
Right.
Maybe it was just the type of item that I was trying to sell.
I know, but I tried to buy something, and, I'd made the offer, and they're like, it's already sold. I'm like, what the fuck is it still listed for?
Yeah. Well, it happens.
How come I was still able to search and find
He
this?
could have just sold it. Who knows? No, I bought DJ equipment on there recently at a tremendous deal. I got some other shit. I bought an instrument. No, I bought some shit off of Facebook. That's where I found my stereo system. But no, I'm just out $400. Well, I guess, I used it for 2.5 years. I used the set, but still, I was hoping to get a little bit back on it. And I'm not going to take them with me. I don't have space. There's a washer and dryer where I moved to. I don't have space to store an extra set, much less like, how am I going to get it out of the basement now? I got to pay somebody to get it out of there?
You get them straps. That's how they deliver it, right?
Oh, yeah, you get the strap. Yeah, but you still need help.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm in my 40s, man. I can't, call up friends and offer them pizza and beer to move shit.
No, I get it.
That shit don't work anymore. Call the fucking mover. So, yeah, fireworks season, which is great. That's one of the reasons I'm really glad. Not that there's not going to be fireworks where I'm going to an Oak Park, but...
Dude.
Not as much as Dearborn Heights, man.
Dude.
Oh, fuck.
There were shows, I'm sure we have them, there were shows that were interrupted by fire from outside.
Yeah.
From outside.
Yeah,
you were sitting inside recording a podcast with me.
Yeah.
And we could hear just the shit going on outside.
And not even on the 4th, just around the 4th, the whole week leading up to, and then a few days after. It's like a 10-day event for these people. It's not
right.
These people being these fucking crazies that live in my old neighborhood. Because it was really ethnically, it was all over the place. It was every color of trash you've ever seen.
It's like, hey, we're all broke.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a bunch of broke people.
Yeah, it's about to be the weekend where we know what it's like to live in an active war zone.
Yeah.
I'm lucky though. The pet I have now is the first pet I've ever had that doesn't freak the fuck out on 4th of July.
Yeah, Roy she's not really affected by noises. Really.
Well, she's high strung in general.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just, but yeah, no, thunderstorms, nothing. I've had dogs in the past where they've had to put them on medication, 4th of July, you just got to
the fuck out.
Keep her doped up the whole fucking night. Thunderstorm, she'd fucking piss her pants or more than likely the floor.
Yeah. Dog wore his pants.
And right. And even I had a cat. He was not down 4th of July. It was not his.
I don't know animals.
He would hide under the bed the whole night. But 4th of July, Rory's like, oh, well, something going on. Goes back to sleeping.
Yeah, both my cats are gonna hate it. They always hate. Bass, the small one, will go and squeeze under a chair or a bed somewhere. Noodle likes to go into the cupboard. Only I had a lot of room in the cupboards at my old place. Excuse me. And she could easily get into them. She would just flip open the door and crawl in there. And yeah, there's the kitchen in my new place is so tiny. The cupboards are packed full of shit. She was trying to flip a door open today. I was like, good fucking luck. My girlfriend's dog is deaf, though, so won't even faze her.
Oh, it'll just be regular day.
Yep.
This time.
Hold your hand, Chico.
That time of year.
Hey, hold on. 2 cars come.
What?
Yeah, 2 cars come 2 different ways.
Here you go there.
Bag up, Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Guy in a wheelchair.
That's right. Put it in reverse there.
Oh, Steve. What you doing, Terry?
So that's funny because he's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Put it in reverse, Terry.
I'd forgotten about that one.
Those are your cats putting it in reverse.
Yeah, oh yeah, reverse right the fuck out of that place. Oh, the animals are getting along all right. They were all sleeping together. I was working downstairs at my station, and I had two cats on one side and a dog on the other.
There you go.
They were all eating together today. They're going to be just fine.
You're listening to Ebony and Ivory?
Yeah. My daughter pointed out, she's like, oh, now you got one black cat, a black and white cat, and a white dog. It's like a transition.
Right.
Like when they all cuddle together, form a yin yang.
Right.
So lots of stuff to watch in the summer now, huh? It's kind of crazy because it used to, I mean, obviously when we were kids and network television was the end all be all of TV. You had
some
the fall.
reruns.
Yeah, you had the fall programs that by the time summer hit, they were off there, and we didn't even, maybe we'd watch the reruns if we got bored.
Yeah.
But
summer was for if you missed anything during the regular season.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll replay that episode where, the Duke boys blow up the outhouse or something. You're like, well, that one's worth seeing again. But now it's totally different because streamers are counter-programming to what the networks are doing. So the summertime is now their time to shine. Like, all right, you're not going to do any program? We'll do it all. Don't even worry about it. We got it.
By the time your new stuff shows up in the fall, our people won't even care.
Yeah. Well, they'll all already be talking about the streaming programs that are going to win all the Emmys by the time you premiere your fall programming. But somebody said, I was listening to We Hate Movies, and they were talking about 30 Rock because they were talking about Jack Brayer. Is that his name?
Jack McBrayer?
Jack McBrayer. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Kenneth. And because they were looking into what he was doing. I guess he mostly does like voice acting now for like kids shows and shit, which makes sense and good for him. And somebody said that kind of like snidely, like he's just doing shit that I don't watch. And they're like, don't cry for Jack McBrayer. He's got mailbox money from the last great sitcom. And I was like, I guess that was the last great sitcom.
Well, yeah, that was like the last. The 2000. I mean, that was probably the last gasp. I mean, things like 30 Rock, Parks and Rec, Big Bang Theory. I mean, those all started in like the last half of the first decade of the millennium.
Yeah. But what's funny about 30 Rock being like,
I mean, you can't.
It's debatable whether it's the last great sitcom, but I think it's a decent claim. And it's kind of ironic that it's about how horrible it is. In part, it's about how horrible it is working for network.
Yeah. And I know I threw Big Bang Theory in there, but whatever.
Oh, hey,
it was on for 12 years.
Yeah.
It just recently ended. There's no shows that are going to come on now that are going to be on for 12 years anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think there's an argument, even though I've never watched or even cared to watch The Big Bang Theory, there's an argument to be made that that's, the last great sitcom, but I don't see it holding up as well. Like, are people still going to be watching that much Big Bang Theory in the next decade? Or are they going to be going back to continually shows like 30 Rock, The Office, Parks and Rec?
It's pretty popular. It's got a spin-off on the air now.
That's true.
That
That's
Young
true.
Sheldon show.
That is true.
No, it was. It's one of those things where I'd like realize I did not participate, but again, they don't keep TV shows on for 12 years if nobody's fucking watching them.
Yeah.
Like fucking isn't Grey's Anatomy isn't on like season 20?
Is it still on?
Yes, Grey's Anatomy is still fucking on.
That's another show that I couldn't even tell you who the fuck's on that one. Like, honestly. I know that there's famous people.
Isn't that where like McDreamy and McSteamy came from and all that crap? Yeah, that's how old that show is. Like,
no, but like Rob Lowe's been around forever.
Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't Rob. Wasn't it? What's his
Rob
name?
Lowe's McDreamy, huh? Isn't he?
Oh, no, wasn't it Patrick Dempsey?
Oh, is that the? Oh, yeah, maybe I'm confusing.
I mean, I don't know.
Let me check my Tiger Beat.
Yeah.
I was listening to another podcast, Karina Longworth's You Must Remember This, which is all about old Hollywood. Or mostly about really old Hollywood, but she's been doing lately a series about sex in the 80s. And it's all about just sex in movies in the 80s, and they're going up into the 90s. But like, I don't know. Well, shit, I can't remember what the Rob Lowe movies were because I never saw any of his movies back in the day.
I didn't, but it wouldn't be like when he's Brat Pack, right? He was
a Brat Pack, yeah.
So St. Elmo's Fire.
I think St. Elmo's Fire was one of them. Wasn't he the one playing the saxophone in that?
Yeah. Well, he wasn't in the Breakfast Club.
He wasn't in, yeah. But they were going through.
Oh, Outsiders.
Okay.
Outside.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Fucking everybody was in the Outside.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise was
Yeah.
in the fucking Outsiders.
What was he?
Yeah.
Tom Cruise was in the Outsiders.
Tom Cruise, C. Thomas Howell, Rob Lowe, fucking Matt Dillon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking just Machio.
Yep.
Like,
the original Karate Kid.
Yeah. A lot of people were in the Outsiders.
But she was talking a lot about the Rob Lowe scandal. Do you remember the scandal?
Well, didn't he just...
Because we were kids, like, when that shit was going down, right? We just heard that, like, he was caught on tape with an underage girl.
Wasn't he 19 banging a 16-year-old?
He wasn't... if he was older than that, it wasn't by much. But, yeah, he was, still... These days, we'd call him a kid.
Right.
19 to 22, you're still a kid in society's eyes. Fuck whatever... draft, alcohol, tobacco, gambling, it doesn't matter. You're still a fucking kid. But yeah, she was like, she was legitimately underage, but I don't know, Karina Longworth does her research. She's a historian. She's not just somebody who like, I like this stuff and gets on a pot like us. She actually does research, and so I trust her, and she laid out a pretty good case of why, like, yeah, he did something wrong, but he didn't do it knowingly. He wasn't knowingly trying to bang an underage chick. They met at a club, first of all, where they check ID at the door. And I guess Lowe remembers that they were checking the door because he didn't have his ID on him or something. He's like, "You don't know who I am," and there was like one of those types of conversations. And he had a little trouble getting into the club because of that. So you would figure anybody that you met in the club was of age, right? There's somebody already doing the ID checks for you at the door.
Ideally, yeah. You would think.
Yeah, but then this case is the reason why we are, we learn to check these things.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that I'm running into a lot of young girls where I have to be like, let's see your ID.
Did he go to jail, or did he just have to disappear for a while?
He ended up doing some community service.
Oh wow! So there was it was like a legal thing.
Yeah,
it wasn't just like a.
I think it was a plea. I think they took community service to not go to court over it.
So it wasn't like Jerry Lee Lewis, where everyone collectively went, "Hey, that's kind of weird." Like he actually had to deal with some legal stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at there's progress there from Jerry Lee Lewis to Rob Lowe. Like,
well, no, I'm saying Jerry Lee Lewis
back in the day before our day, people just shrugged and like, what are you going to do? The guy's rich.
Well, no, but I'm just saying he kind of went away because we all collectively went, like,
yeah.
But yeah, but I guess Rob Lowe got put under the legal system.
He seems to have done his time, and he's certainly had his successful comeback.
Well, and you don't think about it anymore, right? You got to, oh yeah, that happened to him. Like it's
also the girls that he was with. That they so it was his video camera, but they as soon as they were done and I guess he was done and went to the bathroom to clean himself up. They fucking raided his wallet, took the videotape, took anything they could of value, and got the fuck out of there. So they blackmailed him with that tape too.
Damn. Well, how'd they get it?
Well, I think
that's a crime.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember if she covered what happened to the chicks. It wasn't really supposed to be, a whole podcast, but she just wanted to she puts everything that she talks about in the movie, she puts in context to what was happening at the time in the culture. That's really what she's tying together. How we thought about sex in the culture versus how we displayed it in our fiction. And so it was enough of the Rob Lowe story to kind of lay the groundwork. And also, not you don't want to be telling a story about Rob Lowe and have people think, oh, that creep. You know?
Right. Well, no, he's handsome. So we don't care. He's dreamy.
He's dreamy, but not McDreamy. What's the McDreamy come from anyway?
It says Grey's Anatomy.
It was an actual term that was used in the show?
Yes. There's it's nicknamed for two of the doctors.
McDreamy and what was the other one?
McSteamy.
Oh, McSteamy. Yeah, but see, when you put the Mick in front of him, it just sounds generic. You know, I think Dr. Dreamy and Dr. Steamy sound better than Mick.
Well, I think that was kind of the point.
Oh, I see. So that I'm...
Or maybe one of them
explaining the joke.
Or maybe one of them had a nickname. I don't know.
Yeah.
I only know what made it to me in the tertiary culture.
Again, never watched the show. Don't make me defend it.
Been on 18 years. Never seen a second of it. Isn't that where Katherine Heigl was from?
Is it? There's somebody you can't act. What have you seen that you're impressed by Katherine Heigl? I mean, she was decent in 40-Year-Old Virgin, right? No, I mean, Knocked Up.
She looked good in a tight dress.
I guess she never really did it for me. My dad has.
Well, too, but I guess
my dad has a crush on her. She thinks she's
she
beautiful.
had a
I'm like,
reputation as a see you next Tuesday to work with, and that's why you kind of don't hear from her.
oh, is that a fact? I'm trying to see if I saved the story because I didn't really get a chance to read it earlier. Yeah, I can't find it. But what did it say? Why doesn't what's the guy who did Knocked Up and 40-Year-Old Virgin and
Judd Apatow.
Yeah, why doesn't Judd Apatow's version of humor work anymore? And I didn't read the story, so I don't know. I don't know what their answer is. But is that true? I mean, we haven't had any.
He hasn't been funny for a while.
His stuff hasn't really. Well, I don't know. I'm unclear as to what things I've seen that he's like had a hand in, like writing, or what stuff he's just producing. I think the stuff that he's done for television has been great. Yeah, I can't. What was the last funny movie that he did, though?
I mean, I know Anchorman 2 was a giant piece of shit.
Oh yeah.
I mean, but I think everyone involved in that one admitted it was a cash grab. Studio was going to give him a ton of money, and it would have been dumb to say no.
Yeah, it just seemed. And again, I know this is dumb. I'm talking about a headline that I didn't read the story, but it seems like a weird question to pose, because if comedies were doing really well, were making billions at the box office, and everyone was talking about them, I think it would be a different story. Then you could go, well, what's up with Judd Apatow? How come he's not funny anymore? But who is funny anymore?
Right? Who's allowed to be funny?
I mean, really, comedies are just, it's been like a decade now where it seems like as soon as superhero movies took over, they took all the jokes with them.
Oh, here you go. The inevitable downfall of the Judd Apatow comedy.
Where is that at?
It's from 4 days ago.
Yeah, that must be the one.
Oh, it's a video.
Oh, is it? Well,
yeah.
That's why I didn't. Well, you ain't watching that. I guess comedy is kind of tricky in general. Like, we think that there's comedy classics, but those are comedies that we grew up with and know. You know, like I don't know, like Caddyshack or Beverly Hills Cop or Take Your Pick.
I remember being highly disappointed in Caddyshack. I'd heard all this great word of mouth, and then I saw it as a teenager and was like, really? Like, Bill Murray's like the best part of that movie.
Oh, sure. Well, here's why Caddyshack isn't a great movie. It has no plot that's worth paying attention to. It's a string of stupid jokes, but it's almost like a hackiness that works for me. You know, it's like seeing old comedians.
It's like Bill Murray, it's the gopher.
Yeah.
He eats the Baby Ruth.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, look, like, who the fuck cares about Ted Knight? And like, there's that whole plot with the, like, it's an actual, like, it's about a tournament that the caddy's playing, right? And
yeah.
I mean,
and his girlfriend.
It's a haves versus have-not story, right? It's really what it is. But it's
the OG slobs versus snobs.
But I just remember thinking, like, there was all this reverence for it, and I remember seeing it and being like, that movie wasn't that fucking great. Like, this is supposed to be one of the greatest comedies of all time. Like, kind of anything with, well, most things with Chevy Chase. Like,
I'll give you that, but
Clark Griswold at Christmas, that's required Yuletide watching, but
I think this is illustrating
like Fletch.
What you're saying is illustrating my point perfectly, though. That a lot of what we consider great comedies are just stuff that we saw at the right time, right? It was a shared experience, everybody. I like Caddyshack because I remember everybody that when I was a kid had seen Caddyshack, and even into my adulthood, I had friends that they remember that movie. We got together and watched it together. We watched Caddyshack, Blazing Saddles, fucking Trading Places.
Oh, just like Trading Places. I would call that a comedy classic because that
Trading
holds
Places,
up.
True comedy classic.
Much better than Beverly Hills Cop. That's a hot take.
Has an actual plot. Has a plot that still holds up, and actually even more so today. It is. It's another slobs versus
Looking
snob
good,
story.
Lewis. Feeling good, Billy Ray.
Yeah. The jokes hold up.
Hello, security. Merry Christmas. No, I mean now in 2022, there's definitely that questionable scene at the end with Dan Aykroyd.
There's some questionable stuff going on the whole train. The whole train.
Yeah, the whole
scene,
train. Dan Aykroyd.
Things go a little bit off.
Face.
The black. He's the Rastafarian dude.
I mean,
the bad accents.
If we believe what happens,
are we two going to Addis Ababa?
And if you believe what happens, like a human got raped by a gorilla. If you go along the lines, like everything that happens on the train, not good.
Was that the principal from Breakfast Club that gets raped in the gorilla suit? Wasn't that the guy that's after him?
Yes.
Yeah. That's the guy. No more fucking Yankee my wanky. No, what is the line? He's like, no more. Oh, I can't remember. I consider that a comedy classic because it has a real plot. I think the jokes all hold up. But most like comedies, they are of their time. If you didn't see Step Brothers at the right time, I don't know if you're going to get it today.
That's a shame.
And also, I mean, how many successful multi-million, billion-dollar movies are you expected to make? Like, is a person, once they have a hit movie, going to make hit movies for the rest of their fucking life? I mean, the only person that has really done that is, Tom Cruise? I mean, real hits. Like
still doing it, yeah.
Like fucking Maverick. My boss was telling me about going to see it. He's like, we were going to go last week, and it was sold out. It's its third week. It's still selling out theaters. On its fourth week, it's still number 2.
The Weedsman Podcast.
ChristopherMedia.net. ChristopherMedia.net.
The Weedsman Podcast.
How is a movie about Elvis number 1? I was telling my nephew today.
Baz Luhrmann.
Like, he's 18. I said, I am in my early 40s. I have never given a fuck about Elvis. Who is this movie for?
Yeah, so I was listening. Here's another podcast I was listening to. This is Pod on Pod this week. Listening to Penn Jillette's podcast, which I know I talk about a lot, but they were talking about famous magicians, right? And they said, nobody knows famous magicians. Nobody does.
Everyone knows like the same 4.
He's like, you could walk down, whatever the big avenue in Vegas is. You can walk down the strip in Vegas and have, fucking Penn and Teller on one billboard, have fucking David Copperfield on another billboard, have fucking Michael Carbonara on another one. And
that just sounds like an Italian dish.
And
let me get the Michael Carbonara.
And you ask somebody, name a famous magician, they're like, Houdini? I mean, Houdini's still the number 1 answer.
From 100 years ago.
Yeah.
What about Harry Blackstone? Everyone forgets about Harry Blackstone when we were kids.
That was the big one. Harry
Blackstone.
Absolutely.
But now, David Copperfield, Penn and Teller, Chris Angel. David Blaine.
Yeah.
End of list.
Yeah, and most people couldn't come up with all those. You know, I think you either know David Blaine and Chris Angel, or you know Penn and Teller and David Copperfield. You know, those guys are more of our generation.
Does Harry Anderson count? He's more of a comedian magician.
Yeah, he's a hobbyist. But so anyway, my point being was that Houdini has become something else, right? I mean, it's a fucking verb. You know, you can Houdini something. You know, it's in the actual dictionary. And I think that's what Elvis is. Like, Elvis is rock music.
No, he's
right. No, I know it. I'm not saying that like
people 30 years older than us.
No, but I don't know. I think that Elvis is the Houdini of music. Not saying that like I don't even really appreciate him. Like, not at all. I don't care for Elvis.
Like, he's the first boy band.
Yeah, you ripped off a lot of other people's music, and he didn't do it as well as other artists did.
And he looked good on a magazine cover.
Yeah.
And TV had just shown up.
He's a fucking weak sauce version of early R&B.
Yeah.
And I don't even get when people, well, yeah, but that voice. What voice?
His voice wasn't that great.
Yeah, he had a twang that was cool. He had style. I'll give him that. I mean, plenty of acts that are, you know, garbage music, but hey, they got style. Look at it. They can dance. Who gives a fuck?
I mean, he set the archetype for the aging, fading rock star.
Yeah, he did do that. He was a fan of comic books. His whole look was based off of Captain Marvel.
Like peanut butter and nanner sandwiches.
Yeah.
And also into 14-year-olds.
That's right.
Him and Jerry Lee Lewis would go to 8th grade dances to pick up chicks.
Different time.
Really? Pedophilia is a different time? What's true? I mean, I guess in the 90s you could let your 12-year-old son go sleep at a 50-year-old man's house.
Yeah.
As long as he had an amusement park. It was cool.
Yeah, I'm interested in the movie, though. But, well, I don't know. I'm trying to think, what was the last Baz Luhrmann film that I really liked? I guess I just like music docs, but that's not even, or not like a doc.
And is it going to tell the true story? Is it tell the Colonel fucking ripped him off, took most of his money?
Apparently, yeah. It does not paint the Colonel in a good light.
Like, isn't that why Elvis had to do that Vegas residency? Because he needed the money?
Well, it's not only about the money that the Colonel took that probably should have went to Elvis. It was about the money that the Colonel kept Elvis from earning.
Oh, that's right, because he didn't go overseas.
He didn't ever leave America.
Oh, that's right. He could, because the Colonel couldn't, because he had like some legal shit, right? So,
he was a fucking deserter and was under a different name. He wasn't born Tom Parker. He was born fucking, you know, Willie Yellowbelly or whatever the fuck, deserter, and was wanted and changed his name. So he couldn't get a passport. But I guess he would just claim security issues. Like, oh, well, we can't keep him safe over there. We got to keep him. You can tour all you want. You're going to Houston. You're going to, you know, go tour out in California. Go do some Hollywood movies. He was supposed to be in A Star Is Born. Right?
What happened there?
The role that went to, what, Chris
Christopherson.
So Streisand wanted him and went to a show and asked him personally. And I guess the Colonel was mad about that she didn't go to him. And so he said, no, you can't do the movie. How do you have such control over a guy who, it's not like the Colonel made Elvis, right? He didn't show him how to shake his hips or twitch his lip.
Was he touching his wiener?
Like, what the fuck was going on between these two that he couldn't just be like, you're not going to let me do what? Make a hell of a lot more money?
Yeah.
Be in a movie that's going to be remembered for generations?
Well, obviously some kind of abuse, right? Whether physical or mental or emotional or...
I guess, yeah, probably emotional abuse of some sort. Probably Elvis didn't know his dad, did he?
No. I mean, I'm sure
Probably had daddy issues.
I'm sure at some point he heard people calling him the king of rock and roll, and
yeah,
probably, hey man,
isn't any of this going to sink in?
Hey man, how come I'm only making $50,000 a year?
Yeah, you have options.
Yeah. Does he still live in Kalamazoo, working at Burger King?
Yeah.
I lived in Kalamazoo for 3 years. I went to that Burger King many times. Never saw Elvis.
Same, yeah. I was out in Kalamazoo.
It was supposed to be the one downtown, right?
Yep.
The one that was on West Michigan?
Yep.
Never saw Elvis.
I
Went there many times.
I didn't even see anybody with like...
Hey, right. Not even any pork chops in the building.
Pork chop. Exactly. That's what I was going to say.
No, like 70-something-year-old man.
Yeah, no tinted sunglasses.
Right, at this point he'd be fucking dead, right? If he was still alive.
Yeah.
Because he would have been in his 70s like 20 years ago.
Yeah. What if everything that we heard when we were kids actually turned out to be true, though? We do find UFOs. Elvis is in there, and he's got pictures of Richard Gere shitting out gerbils.
I mean, that thing's got to be...
While Rod Stewart is making himself puke.
Well, both of those, right? Those have made the round so much. There's got to be a kernel of truth to them.
But that's false thinking. Like, just because it's endured doesn't make it more true. Right? Just because more people share a lie doesn't make it more true. Although there is a comic book series about this called The Department of Truth that posits that what if that were the case? If you could just make enough people believe something, you could actually make it true.
Donald Trump's been doing it for a year and a half.
Yeah. And then part of that, talking about, I guess when we were talking about TV earlier, I was going to segue into The Boys, but this is another good way to segue into it because there's a lot of that in the themes of The Boys about false presentation. Like people who prop themselves up to be heroes, only to find out that they're not. They're worse than everybody else. They're like...
Spoiler alert, I heard a dude crawls into another dude's penis.
Yes.
I also heard how that scene ends.
Yeah, they keep upping the ante not only every season, but like every episode this season. And I'm one behind, and I heard there's quite a shocker in the last one, so I got to catch up. But, it's not... It's one of those shows where, yeah, it's getting a lot of attention. People are talking about it because it's so, like, over the top with its gore and its themes, but it's also actually super smart. It's actually it's doing that thing that Star Trek did so well, right? Like rather than try and tackle current stories with these like ripped from the headline type of shows where they're like, instead of trying to tackle societal issues directly, you're actually, sometimes it's more effective to go the back way around, right? And so you present somebody with a crazy story about spaceships and aliens, and these two races of aliens can't get along, and you're thinking, well, that's stupid. Why can't they just, oh yeah, that's like America, It's one of those types of things. And I guess they pissed off some conservatives. Especially, I don't think it's about this season. It's more about last season. Their big theme through the season was the superhero Stormfront, who ended up actually being a Nazi. Mm-hmm. And even though she was like heralded as like this great hero of America, and yeah, that one's a little on its face right there.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of when they think they're being clever and they're not. Like when it's too on the nose.
Yeah. No, but I think that I don't think it is. I think they are just the right amount of clever on this show. And I feel what you're saying, and I'm not like, I don't think necessarily the show it's probably got too much of that shit where you're like, I know where they're trying to lead me with this storyline. But I think they do it really well. I think it's honestly one of the smartest written shows on television right now. And it's so much better than it needs to be. Like, people would watch it for superhero antics and crazy gory stuff, like guys shrinking themselves down small enough to crawl up a guy's prostate, only to get a little tickle in his nose.
Sneeze and
You know.
that's it. It's over.
Well, you can imagine what, if something the size, like microscopic in size, suddenly expanded to larger than you, and it was inside your body, you can imagine what would happen to your body. Everything, everywhere.
The end.
Yes. Nothing left to even scoop into a casket. Like, you're just gore everywhere.
DNA all over the place.
Yeah. Guy gets stabbed through the head with a dildo in that show. There's this whole fight where one of the protagonists has to fight her way out of it's basically a Russian brothel. And that's the weapons that she has available to her, an assortment of dildos and vibrators.
Well,
she puts them to good use.
Hopefully she won.
She
It's a bunch of spears.
She killed all the guys. That's winning. Oh, yeah, here you go. The Guardian. Why superhero satire The Boys turned off its right-wing fan base. Amazon's submersive smash hit has irked some fans with a more overtly political season that dares to position the show's villain as a Donald Trump stand-in. Way to direct your anger there, people.
Right.
Like, if the themes of the show make you mad, maybe it's because they're hitting a little too close to the truth, and that person that you admire is actually, he couldn't give a fuck about you.
Right.
And all he cares about is power. I mean,
like all politicians.
The Superman avatar in the show, or whatever you want to call it, stand-in, is called Homelander. He's a very American hero, but he's got like all the Superman, like super strong, shoots rays out of his eyes, all that shit, flies around. And he just, I think in episode 1 or 2, he just kind of breaks, and he's doing this press event, and he's supposed to be apologetic for something that he said or did that was insensitive in some way. And he's run by the whole superhero team is run by a corporation, so he's forced to like make a public apology. But instead he goes, you know what, fuck you, I am better, I'm stronger, I can fly, I can shoot who can shoot lasers out of their eyes? I'm better than all of you, I'm practically a fucking god. And of course that turns off a lot of people, but it also makes a lot of people stand up, yeah, fuck yeah, this guy's a god, we love him. And that's
his point.
Well, he does have a point, but he's supposed to be an analog for a person like Donald Trump, who, now Donald Trump isn't saying specifically that he's better than other people, but he believes it, and you believe it because of the crazy shit that comes out of his mouth. I mean, he honestly believes. And I think that even the people who like Donald Trump believe that Donald Trump believes that he's better than them, if you can follow that circular logic.
Yes.
And they don't care, right? They do not care. They might even agree with him. Sure, he's better than me. He's got money.
I'll talk a lot of shit if I could shoot lasers out of my eyes and everyone else couldn't.
Yeah.
I go to the White House and be like, I'm the captain now.
Yeah, like what would hold this guy back in any way? He can do whatever the fuck he wants, and nobody can stop him. Nobody can kill him. Nobody could imprison him. There's no consequences for this guy, except he is human. And as much of a bastard as he is, as much of a piece of shit this guy is, he wants what any human wants. He wants to be loved.
Well, Superman wasn't human. He was an alien.
Well, it's true, yeah. But he is, so yeah. Well,
and you needed kryptonite. You can get him.
But yeah, and ultimately, like, what he's really worried about more than anything, Homelander and the boys, is his polling numbers. That's what it all comes down to. His polling numbers are down.
Is this guy just Is he just for a politician in general?
Yes. I think that's people are getting upset about it and not realizing that what they're doing is just what we've always done is lampoon politicians in fiction. Yeah. We've never had any respect for them. Now, if it too much resembles Donald Trump, maybe there's a little bit of Donald Trump going into the characters and the character in the writer room. I don't see how there couldn't be, but they're not drawing solely off of Donald Trump. It's just the fact that Donald Trump is such an exaggeration of the ridiculous politician to the point where he says the quiet things loud and people don't give a fuck. That's your problem. Your problem isn't with Homelander. If you're offended by this, your problem isn't with the show. It isn't with the writing. If you're offended, it's because it struck a nerve. I tried watching some of Westworld season 4, and
That show's still on.
yeah, that show's still on.
It's been on for like 15 years, and they made 4 seasons.
It takes a long time in between. The first 2 seasons were pretty decent. The third season made no sense. And then season 4, I watched the first episode, and it's much more straightforward than anything. There's kind of a convoluted way of telling the story through especially the first 2 seasons. Even to the point where you don't realize that you're watching 2 different timelines until the end of season 2, because there's one character that's played both by Ed Harris and I forget his name, but he's been in a ton of shit. Anyway, they're playing the same character, but you're seeing older and younger version of him. And it actually does come together pretty solid. But this one, it's a lot more straightforward storytelling, which makes you realize that they're not really any good at writing dialogue. And yeah, there's nothing there to make me...
Like, we are running out of ideas.
Yeah.
We got money for a 4th season.
Yep.
We have to make something happen.
Well, yep. We didn't wrap up all these loose ends, so this is just like perfunctory, like, okay, let's start wrapping up the loose ends.
Listen, we don't want to be asked to make season 5.
Yeah, this season will make sure that we will not get another one. So the big news this week on weed, the story that everybody's picking up on, even CNN is running a headline today, or yesterday actually, of recording this. It says weed users nearly 25% more likely to need emergency care and hospitalization.
For
nobody knows, right? This is another correlation, not causation instance. And because it's not saying anything specifically like, weed users are more likely to go to the hospital because of breathing issues, or I'm out of ideas, actually.
I mean,
car accidents because of cannabis was related, maybe.
2
somehow.
years ago, oxygen breathers had more of a chance for hospitalization, and you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
when there was this new virus around that nobody knew how to treat, breathing oxygen was more cause for hospital. Like, what? This is one of those gotcha headlines.
Let's see. A study published Monday in the journal BJM Open Respiratory Research. Not familiar with it. They looked at national health data records for over 30,000 Ontario, Canada residents between the ages of 12 and 65. Oh, actually took me to it. Over a 6-year period. When compared with people who did not use marijuana, cannabis users were 22% more likely to visit an emergency department or be hospitalized.
For what? Not yelling at you, the story.
No, I know. Physical bodily injury was the leading cause of emergency department visits and hospitalizations among the cannabis users, with respiratory reasons coming in a close second. So,
Stoner's clumsy? Is that what they're getting at, or
yeah, physical bodily injury, hurting yourself. See,
okay, that's the first thing you come up. So, can we do this same study with alcohol users, and you won't come up with the same?
Exactly. Thank you. It's not about, people look at this and be like, well, they have a control, right? They have non-smokers, and the facts don't lie. No, you don't understand how to parse data, how research is done. You got to compare it to something comparable, right?
Yeah.
You can't compare weed to not smoking weed. You have to compare it to other things that people do, right? How dangerous nobody's saying that cannabis is like absolutely safe for everyone in all forms. You can do dumb shit on cannabis. You can get too high. I was listening to another pod.
Yes, when you get altered, what do you do? Your coordination's off? No shit.
Yeah, we know this. We're aware of it. The question is, how does this compare to other things that we like to do, like alcohol, like prescription drugs, like non-prescription drugs? All this shit. We like to alter ourselves in a number of ways. Cannabis is one of those. It is one of the safer, if not the safest way to alter yourself without having, for most people, consequences. But not for everyone, and nothing's perfect. That's not what we're saying. But to just compare smoking weed versus not smoking weed, that doesn't tell you any data at all. I mean, yeah, are the percentage of the population who are smoking weed, are they more likely to engage in other things that might put them into the hospital? Are they, or for that matter, are the young kids who are more likely to do daredevil shit also more likely to answer yes to a question like, do you smoke weed on a daily basis, where older people are less likely to answer?
Yeah, what
that.
was the age group on this again?
All over the place. It was, 16 to 65, I think they said?
Oh, wow.
Right here. Oh. 12 to 65.
It's a wide swath.
It is.
That's middle school to retirement, literally. That is 6th grade to Social Security check.
Yep. And here's another factor for you. This was data derived from national health data in Canada, right? For residents of Ontario.
So, yeah, is this the reason why they went?
So national health records. They pulled this from stuff that was in the national health records. So how do they know which of these people are cannabis users or not? I guess because they answered a question, maybe? Did they? Are you a cannabis user? I mean...
Maybe Canada makes you pee in a cup when you go to the hospital. I don't know. Socialized medicine.
No, they don't. I can tell you that much. But what I'm getting at is that if the government comes to me and asks me if I smoke pot, the answer is no or none of your business, right?
Oh, maybe before 2018, sure.
We're more likely to now, right?
Well, I mean, my case... Well, sorry, I feel like I'm shitting on your point. I'm in a database, so they'd be like, you're lying to me.
Right.
I have a card for it.
Right. But in general, and also, again, this is an age thing. You know, legalization in Canada has only been what, like a handful of years now?
Yeah.
5 years, maybe at the most?
Less than 5.
Yeah. So, yeah, the kids who are now growing up with it legal are probably way more likely to say, yeah, I smoke pot. Yes, I smoked some pot. What drugs? Did you do any drugs? Yes, I smoked some weed.
Now, when we were kids, I see what yeah, absolutely. The answer was, fuck no.
Right.
Prank caller.
Yeah. So your data might be skewed by that factor. You're relying on this data, looking at like, well, everyone told the truth about their drug use to the government.
Yeah.
That's some shaky ground to build your premise on.
Fair point. Fair point.
Because that's the only data that they're parsing, really. I mean, they're also looking at hospital visits, obviously, and just comparing the two. But hospital visits are one thing that you can't lie about, right? They have, again, their socialized medicine. The government has the records. They know your hospital visits.
Yeah.
You can't fudge those numbers. The drug use, it can be fudged. They're not... I mean, if you go in with an injury and they think that there's some shady circumstances around it, yeah, they might ask you about drug use or whatever the fuck. But even in America, I mean, you're not getting fucking drug tested for pot if you go in with a broken arm.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Depends on the job. But yeah.
You might have job circumstances that would change that, absolutely. But for most people, most circumstances.
Yeah, if you show up the emergency room with a broken arm, they're not going to be like, pee in this cup, stoner.
Yeah. So let me try this analogy on for you. Let's say I went all over America and without a ruler or without asking anyone for evidence or any hard numbers or interviewing anyone's ex-lovers or wives, I asked guys, how big is your dick? And I came back and I told you, turns out
94 inches.
Most Americans have huge fucking cocks. I asked them and they volunteered and said, I got a big hog. And it was like 99.5% of guys that were like over 10 inches. It's astounding. America has a big dick problem. That's essentially what they're doing.
Yeah.
You've trusted everyone to answer correctly something that we all fucking lie about.
Yeah.
Drug use.
What Aaron's saying is everyone in Canada has a 10-inch penis.
Everybody lies about drug use. I don't even care if you're admitting that you do marijuana. You're probably going to lie to somebody, a doctor, an employer, a government figure. You're going to lie when somebody asks you about
if you admit you do it, you're going to lie about how much you do it.
Absolutely. You smoke 3 or 4 times a day, you're going to be like, no, once or twice a day.
Yeah.
You don't want to seem like a pothead.
Before I go to bed.
Exactly. Yes. People lie about their drug use. You want to know why? Because ultimately it's none of their business and they don't want to be judged for it. And people still do judge based on all kinds of drinkers, daily drinkers that aren't alcoholics, that just like to have 1 or 2 drinks at the end of the night and have no problem with it, are still going to lie about it because they don't want people to think they drink every day. Because that's what it sounds like. Oh, you drink every day? Oh, you smoke every day? How do you get anything done? I ask you.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
This is what I tell them.
Yeah, that's none of your business. You should see how productive I'm not when I'm sober.
Yeah.
Apparently this week the House Appropriations Committee introduced some provisions to a bill that would change how cannabis is treated for athletes.
I saw this.
Calling on the U.S. government to review policies on marijuana use by federal employees. I'm reading this from the Marijuana Moment. What's interesting about that is it's a spending bill that they are including this in, which, we know that all kinds of things go into spending bills, and some people call it pork, and sometimes it is, and sometimes it's just the way shit gets done. But it seems ridiculous to try and put this into a spending bill when this should be rolled in with the cannabis legislation that they're pushing for. Right? Well, certain senators are. And that might actually strengthen this because I think a lot of people would agree with the idea that athletes shouldn't be tested for weed.
Maybe this spending bill has a better chance of getting passed. Maybe that's why they're like, hey, this thing's going to roll through. Just get it in there.
Oh, it certainly does. Absolutely it does. But what I'm saying is that that's a factor of weed legalization that a lot of people, I think, would get on board with. Mm-hmm. And I think you should be rolling this. I think it would be beneficial to the MORE Act and the CARES Act, all that stuff. That if they bundle this in with and say, part of what we're trying to do here is not just see people punished for ridiculous reasons, right? And when you can put that in context of, oh yeah, my favorite athlete so and so, and I remember I was upset when he got busted for weed and they had to bench him for however long, or he got fined, and it was all this big deal. Over nothing, over what was really nothing, right? But they don't, where they might not see that in their own lives or the people around them or maybe minority populations in the neighborhood that are affected the same way, they could see that in a star. And, the same way that I was saying how, like sci-fi and fantasy stories can kind of backdoor preach to people, with their like, the real evil here was man's inhumanity to man.
Yeah.
This could be that backdoor way to like get people to understand. Like, that's all we're trying to do is just stop. Like, cannabis is just something that everyone's going to do. Not everyone, but a lot of people are just going to do it, regardless of the legality of it. Mm-hmm. Let's make a system where we stop punishing people for doing things that millions of other people are doing, and just accept it. I think it could go a long way to bring acceptance to the bills that they're trying to get passed in Congress. But who knows? Who knows if we're ever going to see that passed anyway?
You're asking for logic and rationale from the government.
Clock's ticking.
Yeah.
Get the fucking Judge Judy meme pointing at the watch like, come on, Schumer.
Right? Take your time.
Today, Junior.
Yeah.
Today, Schumer.
Yeah. Are we allowed to say that anymore? Make fun of the kid with the stutter?
Biden used to have a stutter, didn't he?
Allegedly.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that's it then.
That's it. That's it for today.
It's all the pod.
All the pod. All the pod about the pot.
Yeah.
Find us on your social media on the Twitter at TheWeedsman420. Like us on Facebook. Go to ChristopherMedia.net and help us out if you would like to. Hit the PayPal button. Hit the Amazon banner. And wherever you listen to us, Spotify, Apple, Google, wherever you listen to the podcast and you can rate us and review us, please do. It helps other people find the show. There's new listeners. There's old listeners. You're all here and you're listening, and we thank you. And if you want to help more people find the show, just leave us a little rating and a review to help us out. And you can stay high.
Stay high.
The Weedsman Podcast.
ChristopherMedia.net.